You can grade a pass or a fail with if and else. But real grades aren't two buckets. They're A, B, C, D, and F. Try to squeeze 5 outcomes into one if, else. And you get this. Everything that isn't an A gets lumped together, B or below. Technically true, but useless. An 85 and a 40 land in the exact same bucket. Two branches simply can't tell 3, 4, or 5 cases apart. You need a chain. Meet elif, the way you pick one option out of many. Elif is just else and if, fused together. An if-else forks into 2 paths. An elif chain forks into as many as you want. You write one if, then any number of elifs, and an optional else at the end. Python checks them top to bottom and takes the first one that's true. Here's the full grade ladder. 1 if, a stack of elifs, 1 else. 5 clean outcomes. 85 isn't 90, but it is 80 or more. So predict which grade prints. One if to start the chain. Then elif for each next option, else if, checked only if the ones above failed. You can chain as many elifs as you need. And a single else at the bottom catches everything left over. B, 90 failed, so Python dropped to the next test. 80 or more, which passed. It stopped right there and never even looked at the 70 check or the else. First match wins. Python tries the first condition. 90 or more? No. Down to the next, the 80 or more? Yes. This one wins. So the rest of the chain is skipped entirely. 70 is never checked, and the else only runs if every single condition above it failed. This is the rule that trips people up. Python reads the chain top to bottom and stops the instant a condition is true. It runs that one block and skips the rest, even if a later condition would also be true. Exactly one branch runs, just like if-else. Only now there are many to choose from. Because the first match wins, order can make or break it. Look closely. The 70 check sits above the 90 check. A 95 is an A. But watch what Python actually does with this order. See, ouch. 95 is 70 or more, so the very first condition grabbed it, and the A check never ran. The fix is simple. Always put your strictest, highest conditions first, and let the chain widen as it goes down. Matching text works the same way. Green means go, yellow means slow, and anything else, red included, means stop. The light is yellow, so the first check fails and the second one catches it. Slow down. 3 distinct states cleanly separated. This is how a program routes one input to one of several actions. A chain reads like a lookup table. 0 or below, ice. Below 100, liquid. Otherwise, steam. Temperature is exactly 100. Not 0 or under, not below 100, so it falls all the way through to the else. Steam. Notice each condition assumes the ones above already failed, so you never have to write between 0 and 100. That gap is implied by where the branch sits. 3 outcomes from one value. Positive, negative, or 0, the 3 cases every number falls into. Here, n is 0. It's not above 0, not below 0, so both conditions fail. 0. The else is the honest home for that last case, the one thing left when everything above has been ruled out. And you can chain on ranges of numbers. Before noon, morning. Before 6 p.m., afternoon. Otherwise, evening. 1400 is 2 p.m. Past noon, but before 18. Good afternoon. This greeting logic is in more apps than you'd guess, and it's just a 3-link elif chain. Real quick, if this is clicking for you, tap that like button. It genuinely helps other beginners find the series, and hit subscribe so the next episode lands right in your feed. One last detail. You don't always need an else, an if, plus elifs, no else at all. That's allowed. But be aware, if none of the conditions match, nothing runs, and you're back to that silent gap from a couple episodes ago. Size is M here. Medium, it matched the second link, so we're fine. But if size were XL, this chain would say nothing, when every case should be handled end with an else. Ranges of numbers 4 ways. Under 13 child, under 20 teen, under 65 adult, otherwise senior. 30 sails past the first 2 checks and lands on adult. 4 life stages from one number, and each boundary is just a less than check climbing upward. A pricing table straight from a chain. 1 kilo or less, $5. Up to 5 kilos, $9. Heavier than that, $15. Our parcel is 3 kilos, $9. It skipped the 1 kilo tier and matched the 5 kilo one. Real shipping calculators are exactly this, a chain of weight brackets. Turn a number into a friendly label. 5 stars, excellent. 4, good. 3, okay. Below that, poor. A rating of 4 clears the 4-star bar, but not the 5. Good. This is how a review widget shows words instead of raw numbers. A tidy elif ladder behind the scenes. Discount tiers, a favorite in real apps. Spend 500, 20% off, 200, 10%, 105, 250 misses the top tier, but clears the 201, 10% off. And because the biggest threshold sits at the top, the first match is always the best deal the customer qualifies for. Quick test. Trust the first match rule. 12 is even, and it's also divisible by 3. Both conditions are true. So, which line prints? Think it through before you peek. Even, and only even. The chain stopped at the first true condition and never checked the second, even though it was also true. When you truly get why, you've got elif. So an elif chain is your tool for many paths. First match wins, exactly 1 runs. But when there are just 2 outcomes and you want them on a single tidy line, there's an even shorter form coming next. Before you go, the entire Python 0 to Pro playlist is linked in the description. Every episode in order start to finish. Go bookmark it and binge the rest. So, start with an if, add as many elifs as you need, finish with an optional else. Python checks them top to bottom and takes the first that's true. And order matters. Always lead with your strictest conditions. Try this. Set a variable called day and print weekday for Monday through Friday, or weekend for Saturday and Sunday, using elif. Then read it back and check your order. Sometimes a full if else is overkill. You just want to pick one of 2 values and stash it in a variable. Next up, the ternary lets you make that choice in a single readable line.